Hello everybody, this is Prince Mouse, and welcome back to Super Modded DMC 5. I have to get used to saying that name again. In the last episode, we started our adventure as Virgil, explaining our way through kind of his kit and such. And yeah, I guess in this one we're just gonna go ahead and move on. It's gonna be a little bit weird for sure, playing as Virgil, because obviously we saw the one cutscene in the beginning there, and not really any others. That's kind of how it works for the entirety of Virgil DLCs in general in DMC games. So it's not a lot of story bits or anything to go on. It's just kind of a straight rush to the end. So depending on how long an episode takes, or a mission takes to complete, I might be doing one or more missions per episode because there's a lot less fluff that we have to go through. So, didn't completely get done with explaining Virgil's kit. We'll go ahead and kind of wrap that up as we go on. Virgil's Sin Devil Trigger is the only actual Devil Trigger like effect you can reach for Virgil. His regular Devil Trigger just doesn't exist anymore. A little bit sad, but covers all the bases and works perfectly fine. I believe it's a little bit faster to charge. And the bar itself is a little bit, like, gives you a little bit more leeway. Which I could be wrong about that, but given how you'll be using Yamato to gain DT, it makes it pretty easy. So, still not technically wrong, I guess. So, if I can get some DT here off these guys, because I suddenly don't want to fight the Death Scissor there. Swap. Very good. Now I want to fight you. And I got hit. Nice. Fuck. Getting hit with Virgil specifically sucks ass. There we go. Finally hit it. But his regular Devil Trigger now does it. He just ran? I didn't know those guys could run. I didn't know those guys could just leave. What the fuck? I'm turning that off now. Okay, I guess I won't show that. Excuse me. I didn't know the Yakuza could just leave. That's the smartest decision an enemy has ever made. Anyway. Okay, we're gonna just punch the shit out of this guy. That works. I do still need red orbs now. Speaking of which, I can't see in here. There we are. Punch, punch, punch. I punch the things as I want to. Concentration. That will work. Okay, now as I was saying, this is the Doppelganger. Something that happened in Virgil's boss fight, as I'm sure you can remember. Works by pressing the same buttons as you do, and unmodded, the Doppelganger will do only Yamato attacks. So it is an additive damage increase, but Virgil himself gets no buff. Nice. I have a feeling I'm gonna hate fighting these things with Virgil. Just gonna break the shit out of here. Sisters. Very good. Hold on. Shit. Just like with Round Trip, with Dante, you can switch to another weapon, and it works out just fine. With, yeah, you can switch to another weapon, and the Force Edge will still go out and, you know, continue to cut stuff up for you. Pretty good. I'm also going to be still making that mistake a lot. It's called Mirage Edge because it's not quite Force Edge, but the original sword is Force Edge, so I'm going to slip probably all the time, and I have no intent in changing it. Just fair warning. Okay, still very much fumbling my way through everything, but That's still fine, I guess. There is one attack that I want to do while I have room to do it. Oh. Or this can work. Beep, 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 beep. So yeah, I love that move. This is like Force Edge's like C combo or D combo, I'm not sure which one. Weirdly generic combo, but it has a couple of its own little effects too. Or just one. It has one really weird neat effect. It's a delay, smack, swing, 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 swing. Cancel because I'm stupid. Still got it wrong. Weird. Let's just keep mashing here.
Clean cut.
So, like you see there, that was the end of the attack. But if you notice, Yamato has its own ability where it can do a judgment cut. If you press it at the exact same time that Virgil, if you hold and let go of triangle at the exact same time that Virgil sheaves Yamato, then it'll do a perfect judgment cut, which does more damage, comes out faster, and they can be chained together. It's the hardest to do in this game, and there's still plenty of veterans that can't quite get it. But what's kind of neat about the judgment cuts by proxy is that Mirage Edge at the end of that combo has Yamato flash because you're swinging both of the weapons. Whenever you go back to sheath Yamato, you can actually do a judgment cut at the end of that to just have the most style, and I think it's like one of the coolest things about his moveset, honestly. Okay, we'll go ahead and just run through and do like we did before. So, there's a lot that I can say about the DLC, because I did mention before how I wanted to go into my actual thoughts on it. And, the general consensus is the DLC's pretty good, but, kind of maybe not exactly what I was expecting. After the hype kind of died down for everybody, and we were like, alright, cool, we got our Virgil DLC, now what? We kind of always had in our minds, like, everyone who was waiting for the DLC, everyone kind of had in their minds that there was something more to expect. We didn't get the DLC for Lady or Trish, which is disappointing. We don't know if we'll get it still, but I think at that point it would be wishful thinking. I could be wrong still. Don't know if we'll get it, don't know if we ever will. But, if you're noticing something here, it's very much just a new character. That's still fine, a new character's good. But, I believe the asking price for the DLC was $5. And in that regard, I guess you kind of get what you pay for. It's a new character added to the roster of, you know, limited but very, in-depth characters with their own, like, combat style and even mannerisms that go into their combat style and stuff like that. But what we were kind of expecting and wishing and asked Capcom for, quite frankly, was to have, like, our own DLC, like, storyline for Virgil. And to not just have the weapons from, the other DMC games. Because, like, Virgil also appeared in DMC 3 and DMC 4. I got an achievement. And the weapons were still the same, more or less. It was, obviously Force Edge was still... Mirage Edge was Force Edge, so that's not any different. Really, it's just, now it's a Summon Sword because Force Edge kind of doesn't appear anymore. It was Sparta, and then it got absorbed to be, Del Sword Dante. But, what was the other thing I was gonna say? And, Beowulf just kind of got thicker. We wanted more weapons, we wanted more stuff to happen, and, like, we got a couple of new abilities. And maybe it would be wrong to call it complaining, but I don't know, it was kind of a lot of waiting for what we wanted, and the tone I kind of understood from Itsuno-san was that he was just kind of extremely annoyed at everyone asking for Virgil. Which, I mean, in all the same, like, token, it was totally, like, going to happen. We were gonna ask for it, let's be real. Not especially considering he's in the game in general as a boss. Like, yes, we're gonna get DLC for him. That would just be stupid not to. But for a while, it really thought that that wasn't going to be the case. Like, I'm sure everyone remembers if you were one of the people that were waiting so long for it to happen anyway. It's like you didn't think it was even gonna happen. Because it just took so long. I've seen a couple people, and I kind of share the consensus myself of, like, Virgil deserved better, like, honestly. To rehash the same areas that all the characters go through is kind of really stupid. There was even, like, and this is heresy for Capcom to even think about it, but there was talk of there being no, like, actual DLC for the PC version of this game. It was just going to be on the new consoles, and then also to the, like, the Xbox One and PS4. That was all we were going to see, and the PC version wouldn't ever get a playable Virgil. And, like, that would have been shitty if that didn't happen, but, like, Capcom sure as hell saw an opportunity to make some more money, because mods are have kind of been a big part of the game. Or at least bigger than you would expect, you know? I don't know. It's just kind of weird. To me, it comes off as a situation of, like, it sure did seem bleak, and it hasn't been a whole lot better. Like, we got what we wanted, but not entirely, and I guess that's why everyone's a little disappointed about it. It's a case of overhyping something. We knew it was realistic for Capcom to do. Let's have some fun. Nice. Okay. Kind of feel like cleaning out my mods list a little bit before going in with the Virgil mods again, just so they would all be easier to find. Yamato definitely feels the best to use. Like, I don't know, this is cool. I didn't hold that down, but that's fine.
Shall I entrust it to him?
That was a summon sword, just in case you were confused. Yeah, the summon swords do the same thing for Virgil as they do for Dante. They act independently, so you can do whatever you want and still use the summon swords to your own, like, effect, really. I did the wrong button. Turn it off, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. Thank you. It obviously works quite a bit better if you have the keybinds set differently. I like to use a shoulder button to do summon swords so I can just have little support swords come in to do kind of whatever I need them to. Okay, we don't need to see Nidhogg hatchling animations. Do one of these. Ah, shit, okay. I don't know if I failed that the last time too, but yeah, you can skip that, if I never mentioned it before. You can skip that little animation in this whole fight if you can clear the direction all the way, and I was gonna use the air taunt to get through there. Which is also pretty neat. I wonder if I can hit it off. Come on. Please. It's a little bit hard to hit, surprisingly. Do it. There we go. Damn it. Okay. Moving right along. There's nothing up there. I haven't done a stinger jump yet. Kinda what you expected already. Those corpses were floating. Also, this is another thing too. The customize Nico's van, everything here, is all here, but Nico's not in the car, and there's no phone call animation as well. It's just kind of... It's there in case you want to buy a new move for Virgil. It's all you can really do. If you have the orbs for it. We're gonna go ahead and fight Goliath here. Okay. You can still do this. Isn't it? Yeah, no, that's a trick into just forward triangle. Ow. A little bit less effective in this game as compared to DMC4, I suppose. Nice. I'm gonna do one of these. Now I have to check something, because I feel like I always fuck this up. Okay, that's what I thought. Press R1. Okay. And I do need to be level 2 in order to do that, I guess. But yeah, just something Virgil can do as well. Ultimate attacks. Or whatever you want to call them. Have to be in Sin level trigger, Sin Devil Trigger. Or alternatively, you can use, let me read the tooltip on that, because I can't exactly remember. Nope. Okay, Judgment can end. While in Sin Devil Trigger, or while STD gauge is max and concentration is at level 2. Okay. So yeah. Just when you're in SDT, you can use it, which, by the way, I'm just going to go ahead and charge that real fast. While you're in SDT, or your SDT gauge is max and you have level 2 concentration. That's a little bit better. Just leave. Swing. Yes! So cool. Okay, also, slight weird thing. I can't seem to actually use it unless my concentration is at level 2 already anyway. I mean teleporting. I went the wrong way. Nice. There we go. And that'll work. Okay, so yeah, not terrible. Pretty good. But yeah, other than that, it's gonna be a lot of me just kind of playing the game and not saying much, really. I'll find little things to say here, like, now and then, but there's not really much to go off of or introduce or really do anything whenever it comes to playing as Virgil. That being said, though, what will help with that is to get some new mods in, so I'm going to go ahead and handle up on that. If you liked it, like, comment, favorite, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. I've been Prince Mouse. Have a good one, and goodbye.